Battlestations Dirtside, mission number 2, resupply.
And here's how it goes. There is a bad guy here, and there are off-board missiles coming in that are going to be landing on the planet. And if you want there's a cheat sheet that tells you what grunts do and what they're like. And there's also the threat cards. So there's a grunt here, and there's also who's in a weapon installation. And there is also off-board missiles coming on. So there's a lot of new stuff to learn here. And here's what's happening. We have got to find the source of the craziness on this planet. There's something here. So we've got to use our science bay to do a research action at a science check of 11. We also have to, it would be great if we can get a barrel of erg, locate that somewhere on the planet. That's also going to be a science check of 11, and bring it back to the ship and put it in the engine. Then our ship will function. So I think our first priority is to deal with this guy in the cannon. This mission takes place in the garden system, and there's low gravity here. So everybody gets to move one faster and one space more, and any piloting checks are 3 easier. In our cargo bay here, we've got all 4 kinds of vehicles: a motor car, a jet car, a motorbike, and a jet bike. And I think what we need to do is get somebody over to that building and get in there. So we're going to start with a motor car here, and I'm going to use not a motor car, let's use a jet car. Let's have our scientist start over here so he can say, I'm going to do that research. So he needs an 11, but he's got a skill of 3, so he needs an 8 on the dice. He's a professional scientist, so he can re-roll 1, and now he's going to spend some luck because we've really got to find this. 1, 2, he spends 2 luck. That's 2 of his luck. You'll notice that their luck and hit points and stuff have reset since the first mission. So he spent 2 luck, and he found the location. And when we look in the book, spoiler alert, the location we have to get to is there. Great. So these 3 guys are going to pile in as their action, unless somebody has a special ability that lets them do something else. Nope. So they're going to pile in as their action, and then they are going, and so that's here, and then we're going to have the pilot drive us over there. So the pilot is going to make a piloting check to see how far he can go. 8 plus his skill of 4 is 12, and everything's 3 easier on this planet, so he can go 15 spaces if he wanted to, but he really only wants to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got to make a turn here. So the difficulty of that turn is an 11 because he's going 11 spaces, but he's getting add his skill of 4 and 3 for the planet, so he only needs 4 on the dice, and he has made that move. So they are there. Now it's time for the enemy actions. The enemy's going to take a shot at the heroes. He needs an 8 and he's got a 2 skill, so that's going to hit that space. On a 4, 5, or 6, it puts a broken marker on the car. It does not. No broken marker for the car. And it does 1 die damage to each of the occupants. So for the Blution, that's just going to pop one of his limbs. And for Carlos, he takes nothing because of his thick hide. And the other person in there is Sarah. She would take 6, but she's going to spend a luck, and she only takes 3. So she spends a luck, and she's got armor, so she's going to take 2 damage for her. And the car needs to make a survival check. It needs to roll an 8 or better. Anybody in the car can roll it, and anybody can spend luck to keep it together. All right, so that is the car together, and now we're ready for phase 2. At the start of phase 2, an off-board missile targets one of the heroes. So I'm going to roll. Oh, actually, I've got these handy numbered chits. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to see who the off-board missile is targeting, and that's going to be 2. It's targeting Teal. So we're going to roll 3 dice for the drift to see where it lands. It should land on him, but it's going to go one to the west, sorry, one to the east, one to the west, and then this 6 means we count them again. One to the east, one to the west. So it goes there, bang, lands right on him. Does 1 die damage to the ship, 2 points of hull damage for the ship, which we'll track separately on a piece of paper, and it's going to be 1 die damage for him. 3 points, which is only 2 points of damage because he is. Sorry, it's only 1 point of damage, and he gets moved 1 space. So he'll get moved there. And because the damage die to the module wasn't a 4, 5, or 6, it doesn't break the module. But we do have 2 hull damage for the ship. All right, and now we're ready for character actions on phase 2. Well, Pop is going to use his action to shove Carlos out the door. And Sarah is going to use her action to try to shoot the lock off the building there. She needs to roll to hit the lock is an 8. That's going to hit, and she is shooting it with her blaster. If she gets any 6s on this, she busts open the door. She busts open the door. So that door is now open. We'll put a little hack marker there to show that that door's been opened. Now Carlos hasn't taken his action yet. He got shoved out the door. He's going to move into the room and whack that guy. So when he moves into the room, the guy gets a free melee attack on him, which will miss. And now Carlos is going to take his attack. That is doubles, which should be with an energy blade, should hurt him, but Carlos is sure-handed, so he doesn't worry about that. He's going to hit for 3d6 minus 3. He's going to hit for 7 points of damage. They only have 4. That is done. Also, whenever you use an energy blade inside a building, you roll a die. If you roll a 6, you break the building. Didn't break the building. Okay, so we blew the lock off the door. We didn't hack the building, so we can't use it. But now that we're in the building, we can read the secret text that tells us what to do when we're in the building. And spoiler alert, nah, I'm not really going to spoil it. So that's the heroes, and this guy is going to come over here. Oh, when we used that module earlier, we got a used marker. So I think now it's 3 harder to use, so I would need a 14 to find where I need to go. So instead, I'm going to step out here and use use diplomacy to try to get a clue. It's an 8 check, and that would fail. I could spend luck on this, but I've already spent a little bit of luck on the other stuff earlier. I'm just going to let that fail. And now we roll over to phase 3. Another off-board missile. Who's it coming for? I've got my chits numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. It's coming for number 1. It's coming for Sarah. Sarah, you're taking an off-board missile right here. So it should go in this space. The 1 means it's dead on, and the 6 means we count it again. So it's bang, bang, bang. It lands right where it's supposed to, which is unusual, but dice are dice. So that car is going to, on a 4, 5, or 6, get broken. So it gets a broken marker for the car, which we'll put there on the broken marker for the car. And everybody in the car takes 2 dice. So that is Sarah taking 2 dice. Whew, she'll be happy to take 2 points of damage. She's already taken 4. She kind of wants to get healed at some point. And then who else do we have in the car but Pop? He's going to lose another bubble. And so he would take that 5. But you know what? We're going to instead spend a luck because he only has 2 hit points. So he's going to spend another luck. He doesn't want to be unconscious in the car, does he? So he takes 1 point. So 1 point of damage, and he's lost 2 bubbles. And the car needs to make a survival check, which it fails. And now I think it's time. Oh, he spent 2 luck, which fails. So I think it's time for Sarah to spend some luck to keep the car together. Nope, that's going to fail. Remember, we need to get to a total of an 8. And it's getting closer. But she spent 4 of her 6 luck. She'll spend a 5th. Nope. And now it's time for a pilot. Yes. So he spends a luck. And they are almost out of luck, but they have, at least they know what they're doing there. All right, that's missile movement. And now it's time for character actions. Well, he's going to look for clues as to where where that barrel might be. So he's going to make a diplomacy check of an 8, and he gets it. So she gets a clue over here, or they get a clue over here. And now step back over, and let's find. Oh, after he finds that clue, he's going to move back out to the car, and he's going to go for an 8 on the dice because he needs an 11 plus 3 minus 3 and minus 3 for his skill. So he needs an 8, and he's a professional, and he gets it. So we find the clue, and now we find where the barrel is. And the way that works is you can, a couple different ways to do this. The simplest way is to shuffle up threat deck, and this is 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be in 1, 2, 3. Oh, beautiful. So that barrel we were looking for is somewhere on this board. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to see which column. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to see which row. Oh, it's right there. Well, that's pretty good. So we'll have, let's see, Sarah, the car is broken. So she's going to use from her Mr. Fix-It pool to get a free action to repair the car. So the car is gone, and we would mark off 1 from her pool. And again, that'd be something we'd mark off on the character sheet, but I'm just tracking it here because I'm doing it quick and dirty. That was a free action for her to do. And then she's going to, for her actual action, pull Carlos back in the car, and then our pilot's going to drive over there. That's a Snake Eyes, but he's a professional pilot. That's a 4, and it's so easy on this planet anyway that we're not even going to worry about it. He's going to go 1, 2, and have to make a turn here. Difficulty is not botch. So there he is, and for his action, he's going to shove Sarah out into the snow because you need to be outside the car to grab a barrel. Now that's it for phase 3. Phase 4. Here comes the off-board missile, and who's it coming for? We got all our eggs in one basket. We kind of don't want those guys getting hit again. This could be real grim. It's going to be 3. 1, 2, 3. It's coming for Carlos. So now let's hope we get some drift that doesn't land on our dude. That is a 1, which is dead on, and then a 5, which is 1 to the west, and then a 6, which means 1 more to the west. Splash. The missile splashed us harmlessly out there, and now it's time for character actions. So I think Sarah's going to have to just grab that barrel. It's an engineering check of an 8, and she's a good engineer. That's no problem. She grabs the barrel, and she's got it in her hand, and then Carlos is going to pull Sarah and the barrel back into the car. Now Sarah's still holding the barrel, so she's taking up 2 spots actually. And now our pilot will drive the car. He can go up to 7 spaces plus his skill plus 3 because it's easier to move on this planet. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way in there. He doesn't need to make any skill checks to turn because he's pointed in the right direction, and he ignores all the terrain. He just flies right over it. He goes into there, and then for his action, he's going to shove our girl out, so she's standing outside the outside the building. And that's it for that phase. And now we'll roll on to this guy hasn't gone. Maybe he should come over here. 1, 2, 3. Yes, and he's going to use his med kit to heal Sarah, who's taken a lot of damage. He needs an 8 on the dice, and that does it to heal Sarah for 5 damage. She's fully healed. Nicely done. She's still out luck, and she spent one of her Mr. Fix-It pool. Okay, now it's phase 5. There is an off-board missile coming in hot. And it's definitely going into that space because that's where everybody is. So that is going to be a 1 is dead on, and then a 2 is north, and a 3. So it comes out here. Doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna roll it anyway. If it were a 4, 5, or 6, it would turn that into a cool crater. But it wasn't a 4, 5, or 6, so it doesn't. All right, and now it's time for character actions. Sarah's gonna walk over here, and that puts this barrel in the engine so we can get out. Carlos is gonna shove out the pilot, and then he's gonna walk up here and lift us off. And we are free, and that's mission number 2.